Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my beautiful rideshare revolutionaries. It's me, Gio, and y'all know who the fuck it is. It's the hardest working man in all of rideshare. And I overslept today. I'm used to sleeping like 6 hours a night. I think I did about maybe 7.5 yesterday, maybe 8. So I'm feeling a little lethargic today, but it's okay. Made $380 in 11 hours, so I'm happy. But today we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about the it was the AB5 thing coming out of California, the pros and the cons, and why drivers may not be looking at the big picture. And we're going to be talking about Tryp rides, right? Supposedly they're supposed to have their launch today. Sorry about this, guys. Tryp rides was supposed to have their no for real. We're absolutely positive, because I guess the video I made earlier this week pissed off a lot of the influencers out there, and those of you who paid for the right to be called influencers, gotta love it. I guess I was incorrect in saying that the launch wasn't June 1st. The launch was actually June 15th, which is today. So I'm going to hold their feet to the fire, because they're supposed to, absolutely positively, no for real, we're supposed to have been launched for 8 months, but we're absolutely going to be launching today, and we're going to see if that's true. So let's hop right to it, shall we? Let's go to the website first. This is supposedly the website I went to the other day. Wasn't the official Tryp rides. This is the official Tryp website. Still looks like a bargain bin website, but that's just my opinion. And so since today is the official launch date, supposedly, I should be able to download the app on my Android, right? I should be able to, right? Guess not. Swing and a miss. Tryp has struck out more than any other app. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe you just can't get the link through the website. Maybe the website just, amateur as fuck. I went on the Play Store, and if you look up Tryp, the app that used to be there is no longer there. Here's my biggest concern for Tryp. I've talked to another YouTuber. I'm not gonna put him on blast. He told me that he has talked to Tryp influencers that have showed him that they have made money from signing up drivers. That is concerning to me, that some of these guys have made a good amount of money signing up drivers to drive without an app. Not only do the drivers not have an app, Tryp has not even marketed or advertised to get any kind of customers at all. That's the real concerning part to me. So those of you who have signed up for an app that doesn't exist, you're like, do you see it? I don't see it. That's coming soon on the website. You might want to start asking questions. That's all I got for this one. I know the Tryp influencers are gonna be like, oh, I got pushed back to July 15th. Just wait, coming soon. Stay tuned. Coming soon. Just wait. Yeah, it's getting old, guys. All right, and now let's go to the point of this video. So this is coming out in California. The apps, or the California's pushing for a bill that would classify Uber and Lyft independent contractors, drivers, as employees. And I guess I didn't look into it. I've been so busy lately. I guess there was an open letter to the California legislature from bigwigs from Lyft and Uber together, saying, please, we don't want this bill to go through. We're willing to raise the rates to not have the bill go through. And then something else that I might have missed. Oh, I guess Uber and Lyft sent out emails asking drivers to vote against this bill and I think that's interesting. So I'm going to break down. I don't live in California. I don't drive in California, but I understand the frustration of drivers all around the country. So here's the pros. I saw in one article they interviewed the one girl who's organizing Drivers United, I believe. And the one point she made was saying that as independent contractors, we don't get to negotiate our rates the way we should. And that was something I might have overlooked in the past, so I'm like, you know what, she's right. We really don't have any control about what the rates are, what they should be, because we don't have a union. So in that aspect, I agree. That's for that I would strongly be on the side of that if we got to negotiate our rates. Probably not independently, but like if there was a force behind us that said, oh, LA drivers shouldn't be making less than $1.10, $1.15 a mile and 25 cents a minute, like we're not going to budge on that. That I agree with. The rest, I think you guys make it seem like it's better than what it is. And I know some of you guys would be like, oh, you're an Uber shill. No, I'm not. As you know, I'm not employed by Uber and Lyft. I don't have any ties to them at all. I think what the issue is you guys see like the minimum wage and you're like, fuck yeah, minimum wage. And you're like, oh, we're going to get benefits. We're going to get retirement plans and all that stuff. That sounds cool. Yes, that does sound cool because that's more than what we currently have as drivers. The problem is if you are an employee, you're going to be treated like an employee. All of the fun will be sucked out of this. All of the independence will be sucked out of this gig. If you're an employee, if you want to make a minimum fare, like if you want to make $20 an hour, that's your minimum, and you probably want to keep everything like, okay, here's one example. If you are classified as an employee, and the least you can make is $20 an hour, that's the least you can make before taxes and all that stuff. But you have let's say it's Coachella weekend and you just did a bunch of nice surge rides and you made $53 in fares. Would you rather keep what if Uber gets to keep all of your fares because now as an employee you get a wage, you get a salary, you don't get to keep your fares? Would you rather make the $20 an hour or would you rather make the $53 an hour? That's just an example. You're going to jump down my throat anyway. If it's a nice airport ride, if it's an hour-long airport ride and the driver and the rider tips you and you made $45 in 50 minutes for one nice juicy airport ride. Problem is, you're an employee now, so you're only really entitled to your $20 an hour. Which one would you rather have? That's the question I'm passing off to you guys. And here's the other fucked up part. If you're employees, you're going to have to start taking this more seriously. You might have to start dressing better. You might have to keep your car cleaner. You might have to make sure you stick to a schedule. You might have to, like, let's say you're scheduled as an employee from 5 to 10 every weekday morning, every single weekday morning. And you can't be like, oh, I came in, I overslept. Oh, you're fired. That's what happens when you oversleep at a job. You get fired. You get a couple warnings and then you get fired. And then what if they're like, oh, you got to keep 90-something% acceptance rating? Yeah, but that ride was taking me to the ghetto. I don't want to do it. Okay, you're fired. What if you're only allowed to cancel on 3% of your rides? So out of every 100 rides, you can only cancel on 3 of them. Yeah, but that ride, wasn't good. I was going to be stuck in traffic for an hour for $15 or $20. I feel like I can make more in the city. Okay, you're fired. What's the other example I thought of? Oh, yeah. Now you have to keep your app on. There's so many requirements involved being an employee. You have to keep your app on. Like me in Chicago in the morning rush, you guys know what I do. I drop off in the loop, I turn my app off, and I come back and I do a circle to get the best rides. What if, as an employee, they say, you can't do that anymore. You have to keep your app on 100% of the time from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. or you will be fired. On paper, it sounds awesome because there's all these perks. But are you guys disciplined enough to be employees? Are you disciplined enough to wake up on time and treat this like a job. Because right now, a lot of you aren't. Many of you aren't. So that's the drawback, I think. Yeah, it seems cool. I completely agree with what that lady said about the contract negotiations. I never even considered that, so that was cool. But I think Uber and Lyft should offer some kind of realistic retirement plans and all stuff like that. But as of right now, I think you guys, those of you who want this bill to pass, because some of you might want to be employees, yeah. Some of you just want to say fuck you to Uber and Lyft, which, I mean, fine. If you're that kind of vindictive person, fine. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think this helps drivers. Some of you who want to treat this like a job, you want Uber and Lyft to be breathing down your neck all day, every day. You want to meet these strict requirements, fine. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to like it. But changes have to be made. The app economy, the gig economy is growing and growing and growing, and the workers, the people that do the gigs, have to be considered. We have to be taken into consideration, because there's a lot of, especially for Lyft drivers, being abused. This is a raw deal for them. They got low rates in California and $4 a gallon, and it's very hard for them to approach this gig with a smile on their face. And for that, I mean, it sucks. I do think there needs to be some big changes, but employment, I don't think is one of them. But you guys you're gonna hear what you want to hear in this one, right? You're gonna be like, yeah, he's an Uber employee, he's a shill. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to argue back what I think the pros and cons are, and in this case with this bill, I think the cons outweigh the pros, personally. Don't get mad, you're going to anyway, but yeah, that's how I feel about that. So, all right, guys, that's all I got. I want to thank y'all for watching. Everyone, please stay safe, stay driven, stay classy. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.